Here's an update as to what I found. I found this pink wire had been burnt out, one that's not really attached to the rest of the bunch. I followed it down to the main Y here and determined it came up to the dash wire harness. So I did a continuity test between where the wire was bare and the dash wire harness, and discovered it came up there. Tested it further from that point and found out it came up to the cluster. Don't know really what all that means, but this pink wire here, which is hooked up to the brake assembly, appears to go to the wire harness, to the instrument cluster. Here's that wonderful wire that I pulled out of the harness. You can see she's kind of bare metal if I can get her zoomed in there good. There's a lot of melt, a lot of bare wire. So, like I said, replace it with the pink wire here. I slowly plugged everything back in. Had the ignition on. Have not blown a fuse. First, plug that in. That didn't do anything. So I plugged the main dash harness in. That didn't seem to affect the fuse. And then I plugged the cluster in. That also did not affect the fuse. Idiot lights, all that good stuff. Most important, turn signal. Service tire monitor, that's because the battery ran low, so it hasn't talked to the tires yet. But it all seems to work without blowing a fuse, so the wire seems nice. I did find one thing that I did not like about the GM wire harness. You see this wire right here? This is a ground wire, bare ground wire. It's only wrapped right here. Once it gets below the wrapping here, it turns into a bare wire. Now if this replacement wire here got an open spot or whatnot and made contact with that ground wire, well, now I understand why the thing burnt up. That's just a piss poor design by GM. That should be always covered. Jesus. In the meantime, the last time the wife brought the car home, she said the trunk button doesn't work. Sure enough, that doesn't work. The fuel door doesn't work. Oh yeah, and the seat memory didn't go back. It's really weird. Seat memory I haven't investigated. The other two I've come up with for these two is that maybe a relay is bad in the back. Further down the rabbit hole in the Cadillac. But for today, I'm going to finish wrapping those wires, get those all sealed back up, because they do run through that nice metal hunk there. Sucky. So I got to unplug all the wire harnesses I plugged back in to try this out. The brake lines, the steering column, that's all hooked up through there. So I got to tear that apart, rewrap it back up, get her all sealed and tucked so I can put the dash back in my car. See how it goes. I'll give you an update.